Whether in the UK or in India, you want to hire the brightest and the best. If you realize, oh, this is a student only with a degree, but they've not taken any skill set, will you give them a job? Education is not an investment which will give you instant returns. It is something that will give you returns over your lifetime.
We want to focus right now on the Indian students. Even if they have to go back to India.
Not happening. In 3 years, if you think you're going to recover all that cost, if that's the mindset, don't come. Not here to make people happy, just
Yes.
FYI.
Yes.
We're here to say the truth because no one says the truth.
The blunt as raw.
Because that's what will help the student.
What do you feel like the top reasons why Indian students are struggling?
Mindset, expectation. Simple.
They don't focus on
They pay
academic.
people to do assignments. This is the latest I've heard. The thing that we discussed previously about, payback and ROI, etc. It's a very Indian term. So if someone is trying to sell you a study abroad dream by telling you by 3 years you'll pay it off, please tell them to contact us. We'll try and see what they're on because it's not true. It doesn't work that way.
If you are looking to study abroad, then watch this full video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated.
What is your take on the UK job market? What is the top message first of all? Should international students who want jobs, should they still come to UK or not?
I would say yes. I'll tell you why. There are a couple of practical reasons why. Every job market across the world is in shambles right now.
That is very true. Even in India.
Even in India, right? The job market is in shambles across the world. Plus, visa policies are also changing very rapidly. We know what's happening in the US with the Trump administration. Canada is flip-flopping and we know what the status of international students in Canada is. It's a mess.
Right.
Australia is, the job market would be okay, but again, visa situation is, they're capping it and stuff like that. Realistically, apart from that, which English-speaking large country is available? It's only the UK in one sense, which can accommodate so many students. The economy is bigger, etc. So absolutely. Second reason why you should come and study here, you genuinely have brilliant universities. A lot of the universities here are really good if you focus on the academic aspect. Third, London is a melting pot. You've been here for a couple of weeks now. I've stayed here for 11 years. And I can tell you, London is a melting pot. The UK is a melting pot. You have people from different parts of the world coming and living here. The exposure to different cultures, world cultures is amazing. Fourth, it is one of the largest financial centers and business centers across the world. Canary Wharf, City of London, etc. The Midlands is where you have Rolls-Royce, JLR, etc. You have a lot of companies here. Startup culture is also very good, etc. So these are the 4 solid reasons why an international student should choose to come and study here. That exposure is unparalleled. And one of the things I will say is, when you put in money for your education, you're not just putting in money for the degree, you're putting in money for this exposure as a whole to get you mature in one sense, especially for an Indian or South Asian student who's been used to being spoon-fed their life.
So you are saying that of course there are advantages.
100%.
Right? But a lot of the students I speak to, they come from very middle class families who would be taking an education loan. So they really want to have, of course, nobody can guarantee and that would be false, but a higher probability of being able to at least repay back their loans, recover their total cost of education, which is tuition plus living, which with a post-study work permit, 2 years or now it might become 1.5 years. Either way, in that 2.5 periods of working, or 3 years working part-time and then full-time, they should be able to recover their cost. Because then, even if they have to go back to India,
Sorry to cut you off. Not happening. In 3 years, if you think you're going to recover all that cost, not happening. If that's the mindset, don't come. Because it just doesn't add up. I'll give you the mathematics to kind of support what I'm trying to say, right? Even if you're on a post-study work, 40 hours working week, correct? Even if you're getting a minimum wage, which is $12 an hour, 12.21 is, or 23 is the exact. You multiply that by 40 and you multiply that by 4 just for, you will be sick, you will be unwell, you will want to travel, etc. You're basically making about 500 pounds a week. Your 4 weeks, you're making 2,000 pounds. If you reduce your taxation, if you do all of those kind of pointers, it is, you're going to be saving about 1,500, 1,800 in a month, right? Now, depending on where you're staying, say if it's 1,500, because you're going to be sick and, you will have all those issues as well. You will have 1,500 as your revenue, as your salary,
net
whatever.
Money coming
your
in.
Net money is between 1,200 to 1,500 if you're maximizing your work time, right? Having said that, when you live in London, it is super expensive. When you live in a large number of cities, it is expensive. Obviously, it depends on areas. If you're sharing your house, if you're sharing your room, if you're sharing multiple bathrooms, all that kind of stuff, depending on your living standard as well. But traveling, eating, all of those things also add to your cost, your phone bills, all of that.
So when I talk to students like who are either living like outside, like on the real outskirts of London or in other cities, the average amount that I've heard from them is like between 750 to 1,000 pounds is what they end up spending on a monthly basis.
Correct. But that will increase if they end up going out more, because when you're earning, you also don't want to work in your job 24/7. You want to go out, on a weekend, you'll take a trip to London, you'll spend a night in London, you want to see different things, etc. So when you add that up, I would say always budget extra. So you'll end up spending, say, $1,200 a month. Your income will be anywhere between 12 to 1,500, give or take, right? So the basic saving, even if it's 300 pounds or 400 pounds a month, you multiply that by 4 or by 12 months, it's like 6 lakh rupees a year,
right?
Give or take. Now, if you want to take a flight to India and you do all of those things, your income has gone down, your expense has gone up, etc. So
basically, even if you really push,
you're saving 5-6K maximum to maximum in a year.
Then maybe not fully, but like partially you would be able to recover. But then just that thought is not the right way to think about it.
It's not the right way to do it. I'll be very honest. I'll tell you why. Other reason why is, 20 hours a week is what you're legally allowed to work during term time in the UK whilst you're studying. Most universities will tell you that, realistically over 15 hours, it's very difficult to do if you're focusing on your academia.
Right. So students typically do like 16 hours, 2 shifts of 8 hours.
Exactly. Or anywhere from 12 to 16 or 10 to 16 is normal. Above that, it becomes too much because you can't focus on it. If you're doing above that, then there's a very low focus of yours on your academics because it's tough, right? Traveling to work takes an hour as well, right? So basically, you just multiply that because now we're talking of savings of 5,000 pounds if you're working 40 hours a week. If you're doing 16 hours a week, there's no saving.
There's no saving.
There is
so basically
putting in money, technically. Your kharcha of your eating and living would be taken care of, but your tuition would not be taken care of. Even your living kharcha would not be fully taken care of, etc. So yes, the part-time jobs should be taken as a supplementary income. Yes, say for example, over 2 years you work and, part-time you work whilst you're studying, it takes out through your savings, etc. Your living expenses whilst you're studying takes out. You'll still have to pay your tuition fee.
So you're saying that even with like 1 year of study and 2 years of work permit, it's going to be tough to
recover your costs in those 3 years. Yeah,
you can get a part of it, maybe close to 10 to 15,000 pounds, but not your entire cost.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also the reason why a lot of students end up choosing more lower cost universities where cost of tuition is actually maybe 15,000 pounds or lower, because they want to ensure
that
they don't take back a financial burden once they complete. But so we understand it's not that financially lucrative. So just don't come that, okay, I will come, do some random odd job, save some lot of money and go back to India. That's not happening, guys, right?
So I agree with you there, but I'll disagree on the financially lucrative comment, and I'll tell you why. You're not coming here to earn money. You're coming here to get a degree and the exposure. That is why you're coming here. That is
short-term benefits.
Short-term benefits, your maturity, all of that kind of stuff. If you're doing everything right, is going to be insane, right? If someone's telling you that you're going to make your money in 3, 4 or even 5 years is not correct, but that doesn't even take place in India. You do an MBA and it doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So if someone is trying to sell you a study abroad dream by telling you by 3 years you'll pay it off, please tell them to contact us. We'll try and see what they're on because it's not true. It doesn't work that way.
So I think that gives a lot of clarity to us. And now I want to understand from you. You interact with so many international students. We want to focus right now on the Indian students. What do you feel are like the top reasons why Indian students are struggling?
So guys, let's take a small pause and let me tell you that I counsel hundreds of students looking to study abroad every month. And I am here to help you guys, not just with understanding your profile, which country or university is the best one for you, but help you through the admission process. And me and my team will get you your visa on time. And if you want a one-on-one counseling session with me, please go into the description. There is a link to my Calendly and you can book a one-on-one slot with me. And let's get back to our video now.
What do you feel are like the top reasons why Indian students are struggling?
Mindset, expectation, simple. The thing that we discussed previously about, payback and ROI, etc. It's a very Indian term. It's a very Indian term, which is not wrong. But education is not an investment which will give you instant returns. It is something that will give you returns over your lifetime. You don't just get an MBA for 1 or 2 years. You get an MBA for life. You don't say you're a CA for only 2 years.
So you're saying that it's a short-term mindset,
it's
which
a
is the problem.
short-term mindset and expectation, of saying, oh, I'll make the money. I'll make it back. I'll tell you honestly, a lot of students who I know, a lot of them kind of do cash in hand, yeah. And I'm just like, are you nuts? That's crazy. I try to distance myself from them. I don't want to know your name. Yeah, cash in hand. They're doing crazy jobs. They're not going to classes just to make the money back. That is a problem. That's going to be a short-term plan. ठीक है, chalo, you recover your money in 3 years. After that, what?
Exactly. That's what I want to kind of go a bit deeper into. Like when we say short-term mindset, that mindset translates into certain actions. So like some of the actions that you mentioned, they don't attend classes.
Don't focus on academics.
They don't focus on
pay people to do assignments. This is the latest I've heard, and I'm just like, what is going on?
Paying people to do assignments, working overtime illegally on cash, whereby again further reducing their focus on building skills and academics. So what we are saying is that all of this, if you are doing under the pressure because, okay, I need to earn this money back because I don't know how will I pay for the rest of my days here in UK. It is good in that moment because you will be able to survive. But what happens after that? Nobody is to be blamed that you didn't get a job.
You won't have the skill set. You won't learn. So your degree is a waste. You've paid that 15,000 to a university.
Just to get a visa and
to get a visa and you're not learning anything. How are you going to get a graduate job? Now, if someone comes to interview in my company at Student Circus, for example, we will ask them about their skill set, what they know, what they don't know, what they've studied. We'll question them, etc. It's very common. I mean, you will do that in Mecca, right? Whether in the UK or in India, you want to hire the brightest and the best. The student has to showcase they have the skills to be counted as one of those. If they don't have the skills, if you realize, oh, this is a student only with a degree, but they've not taken any skill set, will you give them a job?
No, absolutely. And I think if you are not focusing on academics, if you are not building your skills, if you're not aware of what you really want to do and you're trying to just live by the day, there is no future.
Anywhere in
longer
the world.
term,
anywhere
in the world.
Absolutely.
But I have a lot of students and I speak to them and I get messages from them, I get comments from them where they say that, they did everything right. But there must be something that is missing.
Control what is controllable. It is like a sword hanging on your head. You're constantly under pressure. Under pressure, you will make wrong decisions.
I think it is that pressure that makes you think short term.
Exactly.
And that kind of creates that negative cycle and stops you from doing everything that's right.
Exactly. I'll give you a small aspect. A student should invest a minimum of 1 to 2 hours on a daily basis on activities relating to job search. 1 hour a day. Forget 2. 1 hour a day. Do it consistently for 6 months, you'll get a job.
So if you like this content, please subscribe to our channel and I will see you all in the next video.